Hi, Fran. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you very much. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been okay. I kind of have something kind of poignant to bring to supervision. I've kind of been considering my identity as a kind of middle-aged white woman, and working with clients that I don't understand their kind of cultural heritage, and I don't always feel kind of best placed to understand their experiences. And I suppose it's kind of a sort of internal battle I've kind of been um, experiencing while doing the work.
And how do you feel that plays out for you in the sessions? What does that feel like for you?
I think it kind of brings up a kind of rescuing part in me, which I work very hard not to be the rescuer, because it's not a healthy kind of dynamic in the relationship, and it doesn't necessarily serve the work. I think I can feel some kind of shame and guilt that I lack the understanding of kind of particular client who's Somali heritage that I've been working with. Um, work a lot on the kind of reducing any kind of judgment that I might have, kind of my considering like my unconscious processes and kind of where they come from. Um, I'm just kind of wondering like how best to kind of manage my kind of unconscious processes better within the relational aspect of work.
Can you think of an example of something that's come up that's led to these feelings?
They're kind of feelings that are kind of sort of ebb and flow within the relationship. So some sessions I feel like much more um I'm not even sure how to explain it. I can't think of a direct example that would sort of support what I'm saying. It's just on reflection. Um, it's something that I am increasingly aware of. Um, I understand like the more work that I do within myself, becoming sort of more whole myself does kind of enable my unconscious processes to become much more conscious, and I can feel more grounded. Um, I'll give you an example of where I'm working at the minute. It wouldn't necessarily be within the relational aspect of the work. It might be where I'd be running reflective practice, for example, for staff that are probably 80% black. And I just kind of, I'm very aware of my position, and my privilege point of like where I've been able to kind of be in that position of power. And it's quite a delicate tightrope. I feel like I'm trying to empower, but I also have to sort of hold the space and for reflection to happen within the big team. um, so hopefully that kind of gives you
Mm.
a bit more of an insight.
Because I can really hear how aware you are. I understand. You're working, with a large percentage of people with a very different heritage to you. But I think the fact that you're really aware of that is important. And I can feel the weight of that responsibility on you, even as you describe that. Um, and is this the very new place? Is this a very new um, environment? Is it established environment? Um,
So I'm kind of referring to a young person in youth custody, and then I'm referring to, it was a client, and
mm,
then I'm referring to a brand new team in a brand new hospital, which is my current kind of work. Um, so I've got kind of different sort of experiences, different like hats, I suppose.
do
Um,
you feel this distance in both places, or predominantly in one?
what do you mean distance?
The privilege, the sort of privilege gap.
I felt it more very profoundly strong in the criminal justice system. I to a point where it literally was a weight because of the marginalisation that's going on and frankly racism that exists within the criminal justice system, particularly for children who shouldn't, but that's not a discussion for now. The other kind of position I come from is being part of like an MDT, being a member of the MDT, um, where members of the MDT run reflective practice, and there's like a white kind of black divide between ward staff and management type roles, and that is difficult to kind of consider how I'm perceived by people in the organisation, and how to sort of navigate that position without being like creating closed cultures within the department that I work in. So I work in the psychology and therapeutic team. Um, we're all white. We all sit in an office. We actually sit above the wall. There's something about space. Um, these are discussions that I have within the organisation, and so yeah, it's just it is important to be aware of things. There is a strong unconscious bias towards people taking on more responsibilities that are white, which is quite apparent as well within the sort of senior management team. That I find difficult. So yeah, it's kind of thinking about the bigger picture as well as the relational work. Um,
Yeah, because you've sort of described that sort of what felt to me like a bird's eye view. We sit up here in our little bubble, but it feels like you very much want to make the connections, that you're not actually that comfortable in that bubble.
I'm
That's what
not, yeah,
it,
I'm
that
very uncomfortable. Not all of the time. Now we're getting a large volume of patients coming into the new unit, but it does not sit well with me. I have run a workshop for the whole organisation, and that was really well received for all staff. Art therapy, using the sort of creative narrative. So I think, you know, there's a lot of work to be done, and the work can be done, but you can't single-handedly do the work. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. You can't single-handedly do something, but can you start like the ball rolling? Can you, you know, start to pull things in with other members of staff, which begin to level the balance a little bit? Is that something that you think you could maybe?
Yes, I think it is. Definitely made a few tiny inroads in my work. It's kind of doing it in a way that is accessible to when everyone's working different sort of shift patterns and things like that. I think, in a positive note, the organisation that I work for, which is a private organisation in partnership with the NHS, they very much want to collaborate and sort of co-produce kind of work. I think could be helpful. But it's kind of the age-old thing when everyone's kind of rushing around, where, you know, that things don't just become like this token kind of sentiment. That's the worry, I think.
It sounds like you're talking about the desire to like grow a culture, to grow a culture that doesn't have this divide in it, that doesn't, and obviously that won't come quickly. But I think the fact that you're very mindful of it means that you will, you know, look for opportunities to really do that.
I think it's like looking for opportunities, but being sort of able to, you know, push the opportunity forward is quite difficult. And I'm not sure why that is. Not sure exactly what's behind that, whether it's a time thing, a priority thing.
I'm wondering if the privilege plays a bit into your mind at that point. You know, can I demand of people? Can I make all these suggestions? Will they follow me or not? Or will they grow with me? Or do they want to grow with me? Do they want to?
And am I the person to do it? I am white. So
yeah,
I'm acutely aware of that. So I probably not.
why do you say that? Why
Well,
not?
I just think it kind of needs to be championed in an authentic way, and I don't necessarily white person champion things is the right way forward, and I'm not sure what the answer is.
Is there an ability to create a partnership with another couple of members of staff which bring that diversity and work together? Is that a possibility, do you think? Maybe not now, but over time.
I have attempted to partner up with someone to deliver a workshop, for someone who's an advocate, a black colleague who's an advocate of kind of feminism and sort of gender intersections. But that didn't kind of get off the ground. I'm not really sure what was sort of behind that.
That's tricky, yeah, very tricky one to start thinking about. Do you think you were the block, or do you think they were, or was the timing not right, or because you can't force these things?
I don't know is the answer. They're very busy. You know, yeah, I don't know the answer. I haven't got the answer.
Well, we're coming up to 15 minutes now, so um, I don't know if it's been of any use to you, if anything's sitting with you after the conversation.
No, I think it's very helpful, and it's important to kind of reflect on things. So thank you.
I can feel how important it is to you. That really comes across, and how you're trying to tread this tightrope, so as to not offend, but to understand, and that desire to bring a different culture, to something that's been embedded for a very long time. I can really hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you.